All right, all right. Welcome in. Welcome in. Broncos Uncovered. It's a party, baby. I got my party hat. I got my party hat.
I unfortunately don't have a party hat, but it's a old school Denver Broncos trucker hat. I think it counts.
Dude, I need some of what you got, Steven, with the curve bills, because I got all the flat bills because I used to think I was a gangster. And now I'm just like an old white guy, and I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to get the trucker cap because that and a jersey. I gotta get a Bo Nix jersey. I'm fired. Oh, you got the Bo Nix jersey. Bo Nix is legit. I'm super stoked to be a Broncos fan. Tonight we party. Steven, first off, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I went to my boss's house because my family's not in town, and before I walked in the door, she broke her foot. So,
Oh,
yeah, um, yeah. So that was fun. She's okay, but that was my Thanksgiving.
dude, I invited you. I said, hey, because you told me you were hanging out with your boss. I was like, hey, if you will need a place, you can come up to my place. I'm surprised I didn't hear from you considering that, but good to see you, man. Um, Tonight we're gonna party it up, boys. We're, as you can tell, I've got my streamers and stuff. So let's get into it. And here's our intro. Dude, when I put that together, I never thought like Will Jordan Humphrey was going to be a thing for more than like a week.
I was just thinking about how funny that is. The two highlights that are on there. One's a little Jordan Humphrey, and then the other one's from a Super Bowl win in 2015.
Yeah, it was rough. For when I put that together, we were gonna do Justin Simmons, and then a week later we released him. So that was these, it just was a down. I think this is a great start to this to the whole point of tonight's show. So there was a rough few years as a Broncos fan. You had, the one guy we liked, Justin Simmons, they let him go. They bring in this guy, Brandon Jones, who's never been much but a special teamer. But now Brandon Jones looks legit. So there's been emotional roller coasters. And tonight we celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, get your high noon counter out. We're going to count how many high noons your boy can crush.
Water.
Some water. How hydrated Steven can stay. But yeah, we're going to talk about everything we did this year. We passed all expectations, I would say, already. And so excited to talk about that. First, I want to thank the Undroppables team who makes this all possible. Dev with the graphics, with the beautiful overlay you see, the crazy-eyed Bo Nix thumbnail, really good stuff. Shout out to Grindberg and the management of the whole entire Uncovered series, entire group here at Undroppables. Just want to say shout out to you guys. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. You're all top notch, absolutely the best in the business. So let's get into it. We are winning games. We are supposed to win. That's what I think the last night was all about. And where if you've been a Broncos fan, Steven, like so many games that we'll compete in the tough games and then we'll end up losing the ones that are like the gimme games versus the Browns. And I think you said that this was a trap game.
Oh yeah, everyone was actually like every week, and we've been playing a lot of iffy teams. Everyone was like, "Oh, the Falcons are a trap game. This is a trap game. Whatever." This one I thought was actually the trap game. Really hot team, not a great record, but that wasn't reflective of their skill level at all. And then you have Judy coming in trying to have his own little personal revenge game, and you saw it unfold. And something you mentioned, we struggled for a long few years in games like this where, you know, it might not have been. It was a lot of fun, but not necessarily that pretty. And this was the type of game we were losing over the past 9-10 years, and this year we've been pulling these out. I actually saw a stat that Bo Nix, I think he's the first rookie in NFL history to be 6-0 in games that his team's favored in. So, like you said, we're going in and we're taking care of business. We're beating who we're supposed to beat.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's like, I think a lot of people would say, oh, you know, that's how it's supposed to be. But as a Broncos fan, if you've watched the games, you know it's not. Like, we took the Chiefs both times last year, but lost so many games that it felt like we could have won against what seemed like lesser opponents during those games. But started off, I think another thing that was interesting to me, just looking back through the schedule this year, we started off 0-2. So to be at 8-5 means we've won 8 of our last 11, right? And that's pretty hot. And we're a field goal away from 9-4, right? And that should not be lost on anybody. And it's an entirely different conversation. So I think there's a lot of reasons to be happy. Tonight, I promised the viewers this is going to be the most fun episode that we have had in the entirety of at least Broncos, but I want to go as far as to say the entire Uncovered series. I put together a little slides and presentation, some games, some jokes. So I don't think you can get much better than that. I'm going to shift it on here, and we're going to see what we've got going on. Look at that. I put together a party slide.
Is that a playoff spot that we're currently occupying?
Spot. That 7 means that we are in the playoffs. But the craziest part, the reason I took that snippet, the current 76% in the bottom right of that picture of the Broncos playoff seeding, 76% chance we make the playoffs. Like, again, I'm not partying over that. I'm partying over the fact that we're not 3 wins, that it looks like we've got our franchise quarterback. I mean, there are so many reasons to be excited, and it has nothing to do with like winning the Super Bowl or even making the playoff this season. In my opinion, this was a sunk season. We have $50 million in dead money, and we're showing up doing our thing. So let's see. We got a comment. Broncos are so back, dude. They're back.
That's right.
When the Broncos winning, people get their balloons out. They get the streamers. We're back, baby. I love that. We need more. We need more of that. We need more Broncos country standing up and being excited because it's been too long. So okay, welcome. You got some of the new uniforms. I think I'll just highlight that in this intro slide as well here. I don't know. I got that picture off the internet, that bottom right one, but did that really happen? Did Sutton really do like a first down in Winston's face, or is that Photoshop?
That's got to be Photoshopped. That has to be. I
know, right? It's pretty good though. It looks kind of, I don't know, like it might have happened.
Yeah, maybe it's AI generated. AI is getting too good now.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the party game. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a party game. We're gonna do find the difference. Can you find the difference? Okay. Bo Nix and Drew Brees. Look at those eyes on Bo Nix. In all seriousness, Steven, you kind of brought this to the show sheet as like Bo Nix equal Drew Brees. Boot Bo Nix. Yeah. What do you think, man? Where's the differences? Where's the similarities? Is that way too hot of a take?
I don't know. I don't know if I see any differences here. They both look like super elite white guy quarterbacks to me. I don't know if you follow Chase Daniel on X or anything, or watch any of his stuff, but he played with Drew Brees for like 4 or 5 years, and Sean Payton, and he continues to say every single Broncos game, he's like, you know, Bo Nix just looks more and more to me like the second coming of Drew Brees, the way he plays, his composure, his confidence. And, you know, I don't know who the heck thought Bo Nix didn't have arm strength and who the heck thought he didn't have aggressiveness. this dude he's launching piss missile after piss missile. And
Yes.
like, oh my goodness, that's exactly what Drew Brees did his whole career, and he was one of the most exhilarating people to watch. I don't see a difference here. Same player, Hall of Famer Bo Nix. Book it.
What if I just like the cherried on top? I was like, yeah, you're missing a few things. Bo's taller, Bo's faster, Bo's got a bigger arm.
Listen, I like it. I love it.
But yeah, man, I mean, how about that 93-yard route right down the seam of the defense? Him throwing that in tight coverage, long third down, pivotal play in that game. Before we throw the slide back up, I just want to show you. I brought this to the party.
Is that Bo Nix?
We gotta go.
That looks like Bo Nix.
I was gonna say, spot the difference. Find the difference. There's none. There's none.
That's Bo Nix, baby.
Bo Nix, Drew Brees. We can't find the difference. Okay, Marvin Mims and Deebo Samuel. I don't think that I'm going to give a disclaimer for some of the slides you're going to see that are ridiculous coming up here. Steven had nothing to do with this presentation. But he did bring this idea up of Marvin Mims, Deebo Samuel, and this has been fun. I work for Player Profiler. I wrote an article and a video a few weeks back. The second we saw some usage out of Marvin Mims in the backfield, is that this is interesting. And now it's growing. I think he scored more points in consecutive fantasy points in consecutive weeks. You know, you're really starting to see that roll. I don't think the snap share rose this week from last week. He's still hovering around like 25% of the snaps, which we just got to start seeing more of that because he's producing. But it's cool to see him actually producing in that limited usage. I think he's a lot smaller and less strong than Deebo Samuel, and that's the difference. I do think there's a difference here to find. But I also think he could have a very nice career ahead of him. And I've always liked him. Everybody's always liked him. He's always been a guy who people are asking me about on this show. When are we going to see Marvin Mims? Where's Marvin Mims? Why are my Marvin Mims shares evaporating? Do you know I actually picked him up on waivers in a home league, in a Broncos home league? So that's how low it was for him, and I think we're starting to see the rise. What do you think, man? Can you find the difference in these two players?
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Mims is kind of a smaller guy, but holy cow, is he's making it hard to find the difference. And you can thank Sean Payton for that. Just out of nowhere, he used to talk about Greg Dulcich potentially being his joker, and that didn't work out. And he struggled to find a guy to sort of fill that role. And then halfway through the season, we start seeing Mims out of the backfield and some motion wheel route packages out of the backfield and running all over the place. Like, he was still making plays as a returner, and that's sort of all that he was. And, we saw him last year taking the top off of Washington. And that was in week 3. And then we didn't see much of him at all after that. And we were all wondering where the heck Mims went. Well, we found him. He's Deebo Samuel. And we're glad that he came out of hiding and he's out here producing.
Yeah, it's almost like he died and was born anew. He was like a deep threat when we got him, and now he's like a gadget running back type thing. So really cool stuff. Love some of your commentary there. I did look it up. He was at 35% this week. So even a small uptick, I mean, that's a handful of snaps more. And I love what you said about the Joker piece. Like, I thought about that the other day too. I'm like, man, this guy has been using that phrase so loosely since he came around. Sean Payton, like, he's dying to find a Joker. He's like, maybe it could be Dulcich. Maybe it could be Blake Watson. Yeah. Now it's the first time I've actually seen him using someone in that offense in a very unique and creative way. So shout out to Marvin Mims. Let's see what else we got here. Nice football decor, festive. Thank you. This Stephen, you're a lawyer, you know, like words and stuff. Does festive have nothing to do with like holidays and cheer? So like this has not these balloons don't have anything to do with a holiday season, but are they still festive?
I mean, I think you can be festive without it being a holiday. I think as long as you're celebrating something, I think that could be festive. I don't know the exact definition, but you know, I think we can work it in there. We're we're celebrating the holiday of Bo Nix, like the Broncos.
Hell
This
yeah.
is our bye week. We're going into our bye week. It might as well be the Broncos holiday. We're partying this week.
Dude, that is exactly how I feel. Let's switch it in back into full gear here. Let the people see our pretty faces. Let's talk about, to your point, how it feels to be headed going into the bye, and some of the things we need to make sure that we do to make the playoffs. 76% chance isn't 100% chance. So, what are some of the things you think we still need to tighten up at?
Well, I think this is great timing for the bye. It's definitely needed. Our guys need some rest. Zach Allen kept getting banged up. Riley Moss is banged up. We don't have a lot of depth because we don't have a lot of money. So we gotta get healthy, and then we just need to lean on the run game. Sorry, Javante, don't really want to see much of you anymore. Lean on the guy. Whoever's got the hot hand, just let them keep cooking. We need that run game. We need that to build off of for the pass game for Bo Nix, and then just to continue to take care of the ball, and we'll find ourselves in a nice little playoff run.
Yeah, I you're teasing what the people are going to see here in a bit here, but yeah, Javante. It's been a tough season for him rushing the football. Jaleel looked really explosive last night. There's a lot of times where he just looks undersized, but man, he was just. I loved how patient he was running the football. How you could it looked like he had eyes in the back of his head. The way he was just looking around, where to cut, where to jump and juke, and you know. Who is it? Joe Buck does a decent job on the broadcast. You know, Joe Buck's a decent commentator. I don't know how you feel about that, Stephen. Troy Aikman, but Joe Buck's got a little bit of character in his voice when he's commentating, different than a la Al Michaels or something like that, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
um, they were saying something about McLaughlin, like, you know, you'd think a guy with that much speed would just be dying to run into the back of his blockers. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but that's just I really noticed it after they said that you know the guy's got juice and can turn it on, but very often trying to almost like read the field like a Le'Veon Bell. So would like to see more Jaleel McLaughlin. I know you're a big estimate guy too, right?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a big power back. Like if you're gonna run directly into the back of your lineman, at least fall forward for 4 or 5 yards. Javante doesn't do that
He took
anymore.
a step back
Estim
on the goal line. You saw that?
was that?
Javante Williams was like trying to run it in and then like
Oh yeah,
step
yep,
back. And I was like, you just keep pushing, bro. Even if nobody's moving, just keep, yeah, to your point, fall forward.
yeah, yeah. Put Estime in there. That guy's too big. Like he's giant. If he's just running into the back of people, he's gonna keep pushing for 3, 4, 5 yards. You know, if that's how you're gonna run, that's how you got to finish the play. No stopping in your tracks, no backing up, nothing. You can't have that.
Yeah, agreed. Wait, I remember on Twitter last night you who did you say like, oh, we do have him, he's in our backfield or whatever. You were comparing Estime to like a different big running back. It wasn't Derrick Henry per se, but it was like, oh, you really think it's just apples to apples?
Um, I don't know. I don't recall that one, but you did make me think of another one that I thought was really funny. I'm patting myself on the back a little bit here. Estimate came in for like a 6 yard carry, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, there he is. You know, what a great run by Estimate. Now, quick, let's put Javante back in and let him run the ball.
Right. Brutal. Um, brutal. Now you're making me want to like look it up, bro. You're killing me.
Dude, I tweeted a ton last night.
I
I tell you
know,
what.
I know. I'm like, holy crap! So much Levi Wallace slander.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about Levi Wallace yet. Oh
Wow,
my god,
dude,
we're 20
survival.
minutes in. We haven't mentioned Levi freaking
Oh, we're
Wallace.
coming for you, bro.
Oh
Dude,
man.
you're killing me. It was I can't remember who it was, but you were comparing Estime to some big young, 200 plus pound back who's been successful in the league. Anyways, can't find it. We'll find it. I will find it because it was a good tweet, and it. I think it gives Broncos fans like a glimmer of what most hopeful scenario is. So um, let's talk a little bit more about what you think. You've been a little bit vocal about this. I think you said the Ravens and the Bills scare you. The rest of the AFC doesn't really. Who would you like to see us face and realistically come in if we stay the seventh seed?
The Chiefs. The Chiefs, the Chiefs, the Chiefs. If we play the Chiefs, I guarantee you, you will see the hardest, most aggressive effort you've ever seen from a team if we had to go into Arrowhead to knock off the Chiefs in the first round of the playoffs. I I am itching to see that. I'm itching to see it. So I'm hoping that the Chiefs drop a game or two and that the Bills win out and they get that bye. I really don't want to see the Bills, but if we were to keep winning in the playoffs, we're probably going to see them. But round one, give me the Chiefs. Give
I
me the
love
Chiefs.
I love it, man. I did not. That wasn't my first thought. I thought you might say, oh, like the Ravens, or I mean, nobody was really off limits because I think the seeding is starting to become kind of locked up, where the Chiefs are going to finish near the top. So are the Bills. It'd be pretty tough for someone to jump them for like the one seed per se at this point, but it's not possible, right? So we could still see some shifting around there. And I think the Broncos, I don't know how high they could finish, but they could easily, I think, finish as like the top wild card seed. And you've brought up a scenario where the Chiefs just lose every game, and what happens?
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs play good teams. They got the Browns, Chargers, Steelers. They got us. I don't. One more good team in there. I can't recall who it is, but all teams that could knock them down a peg. So if they lost out and we won out, we would end up winning the division. There's no way that
Wow.
happens because the refs are still on their team, um, and they're still in Mahomes' back pocket there. But let's keep dreaming until it's not possible anymore.
Dude, you heard it here first. Now you know that's not just water in his cup, folks.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
uh,
little something something in there.
a little something, something. All right. Well, so tell me last night. Let's before we get in totally off the rails, because this show's about to go off the rails, folks. We have some shite in store for you. What do we got? Let's break KC heart in the playoffs. Yeah, dude, that would be very classic Broncos Chiefs rivalry. I mean, especially Bo Nix is a rookie. Him kind of looking at Mahomes, like shaking his hand, good game. Like, hey, it wasn't going to be a good walk in the AFC West for the next 10 years, like you thought.
Oh yeah, man, I would give anything to see that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Okay, so like I was saying, before we totally go off the rails here, maybe have a little too much fun. What was your favorite part about last night's game?
Man, there's so many things to like. It was just a lot of fun. I like the highest scoring, the long pick sixes, the long touchdowns. Like, oh man, it was a ton of fun. Broncos specifically is just the resiliency to hang in there and still find a way to get it done. Because, like we said earlier in the show, it's been a long time since we've had a team that's been able to do that. So that was nice to see.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, folks. One down. We're going to the next time. You ready? Busting out the mini fridge. We started with watermelon. We're going peach. Let's rock, baby. Broncos party. Broncos bye week party, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're that crew who parties after beating the Browns. But again, this win was significant. You can't tell me it didn't mean anything. And you can't gaslight me and tell me that Jerry Jeudy is not a good football player, because my own crew tried to do that to me. I watched the tape. This guy, Wanda Bolitnikoff, is fire at getting open, and I just don't think we ever used him right. I know you get into a lot of like verbal jabbing matches over like you're a Lock fan, and there's people who are like Jeudy fans, and apparently the two don't mix or something.
Yeah, listen, I don't blame Locke at all for any of the Jeudy stuff. He was peppering Jeudy with some beautiful passes, and that was the year that he was dropping everything.
Oh yeah, he did have some bad hands. That was true. Yeah.
The quarterback that you want to be mad at for Jeudy sucking is Russell Wilson. So, like I'll give him that. I like Jeudy. I just didn't like his attitude very much.
Yeah.
But man, he was open all the time the last 2 years. No wonder he wanted to be traded.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. He started acting a bit like a fool a little bit, and he had some injury troubles with us. But when we drafted him, I couldn't be more excited. I remember it so vividly that I thought this was like my favorite pick that we were ever going to make. And I just was like gaslighted into believing that he wasn't a good football player. And I think he's going to have career highs and everything this year is how it's looking. So, anyways, that was kind of fun. I don't like the guy that much, but I did like the guy, and it was just an interesting little note, especially with us still winning and him leaving it all out there. But there were a couple of plays where if he would have caught the ball, he could have had, or if Jameis Winston would have hit him or decided to throw it to him, he was wide open for big gains. So, yeah, good game from him. Okay, so all right, I've been trying to delay it, but I don't think I can hold it back anymore. We're gonna get back into finishing up our game. We're gonna finish up our game. Hold up, I gotta take off this overlay. Add this one. Okay. You remember we were playing Find the Difference, right? Bo Nix, Drew Brees, we said we couldn't find the difference. Marvin Mims, Debo Samuel, we could kind of find a difference. There's a little bit of difference in stature there, right? All right, this one's from Javonte Williams or the short bus. I will explain this. First off, I cannot find a difference.
I'm starting to see a pattern with all of these.
There is no difference, right? Oh, okay, yeah. I will explain why short bus is why I would associate him. Because you think of like Jerome Bettis, and they called him the bus. And my first like gut thought of something that's slow and doesn't really, move very well is like a bus. But then I thought, I guess a bus is too grand in size and stature, and it's apparently a compliment because Jerome Bettis, the bus, is a Hall of Famer. So it's like, you know what? Javonte's the short bus. So anyways,
are you sure you didn't mean something else by that?
No, really. That's genuinely how I thought of it. And then you were like, yo, man.
I don't know. I like both interpretations. I like them both.
I know, man. It's so bad. What did you say? 14 carries for -1 yards. His last 14 carries, right?
Yeah, in the last 2 games, and then if you take out the if you take out the Falcons game and you include the game before, it's even worse. I'll pull it up real quick. I'll just chat with my pretty voice for a second, a little bit more.
But while
See if I
you're
can
pulling that up, I found some tweets, and you said they say Bo Nix is going to win Rookie of the Year, and you said, imagine if he had Scary Terry, a competent tight end, and Brian Robinson, which he does have an estimate, which I thought that was what I was referencing.
that I
Absolute
remember that one.
fire being spat by you, by the way. That's good stuff.
And by the way, I found it. So he had one carry against the Chiefs for 1 yard. So if you take out the Falcons game, his last 15 carries, 0 yards.
Wow. Absolutely brutal. Anyways, Javonte Williams, short bus, can't find the difference. All right. Now, this next one might be even better. This inspired this whole entire segment. Shout out to my boy who does the Uncovered series for the Steelers, Marcus. You can find him at MD Gailey, Galie. Especially if you're a Steelers fan, he covers their team in depth. Very smart dude, knows about injuries and stuff like that, and brings a really unique perspective. Anyways, Marcus is a Steelers fan. He had to deal with Levi Wallace. He said, "Boy, you better talk about Levi Wallace being burnt toast on this." So I said, "LOL."
Why has he got the googly eyes?
Oh, I Googled burnt toast and I was like, that one. Yeah, that one's good. Because like
Oh wait, that's burnt toast. I thought that was Levi Wallace with googly eyes. I'm sorry.
I just thought there was 2 pictures of Levi Wallace. Why would Google
Yeah. Oh.
Literally no difference. This was brutal last night. Like this guy, like I just kept thinking to myself at least 10 times, like if we change one thing, if we just get him out of the game, we will like absolutely just blow the brakes off these guys. Cause like we were playing decent defense and then you just watch him and he was getting absolutely destroyed by Judy, just left in the dust. And anyways, Levi Wallace and Burt Toast can't find the difference.
You got to give Vance Joseph a lot of credit for the turnaround of this defense, but you got to explain to Broncos country why the heck you waited until the last drive of the game to finally sub him out for Chris Abrams-Drain, who, by the way, immediately comes into the game and has a pass defense against Judy.
Right.
And then he had good coverage on the play that Jaquan McMillan had that pick 6, I believe.
Right.
I think it was that. Broncos country, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. He looked the other way. He went towards McMillan, and then that was all she wrote, folks.
Yeah. 2 interceptions, to your point, a pick 6, and then another interception as they were moving down the field again. So I think he definitely changed the look up for Jameis, and it made a difference. And yeah, man, this guy absolutely burnt toast. Just love it, dude. I just think
oh my god, it's so
bad
bad
all night, dude.
And if you think we're crazy, Jerry Jeudy had 9 receptions for 235 yards. 2 of those receptions were against Patrick Surtain. He allowed 20. So that leaves 7 receptions, 215 yards that most likely Levi Wallace was entirely responsible for.
All on that man's shoulders. Yeah, dude. So funny, man. So funny. So anyways, in closing, right? Awesome season. Bo Nix and Drew Brees are essentially the same person. Marvin Mims is a slimmer and faster version of Deebo Samuel. Levi Wallace is absolutely burnt toast. And then Javonte Williams. Please no more Javonte Williams. I might as well have put, instead of the short bus, I should have put like broccoli because you said please no more Javonte. Like I don't want it.
Yeah, it's so. I love Javonte, but man, he's not the same as what he was, and we're good now, so we can't be messing with it anymore. We gotta let you go, buddy. I'm sorry.
I'm out. I'm gonna head out. So
yeah, I'm head out.
well, what a show, man. I told them we would go off the rails. We went off the rails. And you know what? I got a little bonus content for you all because it's just too good. I got to give Marcus his credit too. He made me think of this one too. So shout out to MD Gailey at MDGALIE on X. I got to give credit where it's due. He said it was so bad having Levi Wallace on the Steelers. I know you're paid, the man burnt toast. And then I said something back like LOL. And then he's like, seriously, man, it looked like he had cinder blocks on his feet. I was like, yo, I'm dying. And I went and I whipped this up. And I just had to keep the khakis because it really made it all fun for me. I love it. It's him kind of trying to keep up with Jerry Judy. I'm about to pee my pants, man. This is so funny to me.
Yeah. I feel bad picking on him too because he's a part of this Broncos team. We've been doing well this year, and yeah, it's a bad game. But man, when you're that bad, you're getting toasted the entire game. And you're not taking yourself out, your coach isn't taking you out. Someone's got to get flamed for it, and you're the one that's getting flamed on the field. So now here you are in Photoshop with khakis and cinder blocks.
Well said, brother. Well said. Yeah, and I think to that point, anybody who watched the show knows this is all in good jest, right? Like we are super fired up and proud of our team. Just what a hell of a half of a year. And yeah, guys like him are the reason that we're winning these games. Even the chain is only as strong as its weakest link, right? So if that's our weakest link, we're gonna poke a little fun at you. But we love having the team we do. And so yeah, dude, that was some heavy hitting stuff. No punches were pulled in the making of this show tonight, people. Steven, you got any closing thoughts for the Broncos country?
My thoughts are we're in a good spot. As you said earlier, we've exceeded expectations already, and everything now is just bonus. Like we're just riding the Bo Nix, Sean Payton high, and really excited for whatever we do this year, and really, really excited for whatever offseason additions we make. And we'll probably be legit Super Bowl contenders next year if we're not this. It's possible we are this year. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Broncos country. We are almost in Super Bowl contender delusional territory.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
That is, yeah, bro. Well, hope you all enjoyed it. You see our Twitter handles below. I am at Fantasy Picasso on X. Steven is S. Dwyer-esque, which stands for Esquire.
Yes, sir.
Right? So thanks, guys, for watching. Let's fucking go, Broncos. Oh, I only finished 2, but I encourage everyone to go out, party it up tonight, man. We're celebrating tonight. I hope you feel the love, Broncos country. Deuces.